Hello and welcome back to the Fortnightly Q&A. My name's Lumin and right now I'm going to have to do this really quickly because I've got a lot of questions to answer here, but I'm not going to talk that fast all the way through. It's not going to happen. I don't have the energy for that right now. It's fine. It's fine. There are a lot of questions. Some people like really let rip. But it's okay. I won't point fingers until I get to their questions. Then I'll point fingers and say, okay, you left a really long set of questions. But we're going to just jump straight in. I'm going to release a Tales of Lumin episode at some point this week, wherein I will talk about the internet stuff that's going on. I'm actually still just testing. Trying to make sure. I don't want to get my hopes up and then, I don't know, be let down again. So within the next day or two, there will be a video explaining everything, and hopefully it's going to be filled with good news, joyous tidings. For now, however, questions and answers. The first two are super simple. Julian McCann, where are you moving? We are hoping to move to Germany. We are not 100% certain, but it's looking quite likely that that would be the country that we are going to be going to. Mostly because, well, German is going to be easy to pick up for me, seeing that I already kind of know it. And, well, family, I think we've got some long lost relatives over there. My father does business with a lot of people over there that are kind of nice people. You know, Germany's just a good country to go to for us. There are many reasons, many reasons that I've spoken about a whole lot over, well, the past couple of these episodes, and I think it would just be a good fit. Now, there are a couple of questions that are going to sort of, I don't know, be able to take from the answer that I just gave you, but I'll get to them when I get to them. Firestorm123, Lumin, when exactly are you moving? We don't know yet. We have received some good news about the passports. It's done. We're just waiting for the stuff to be sent. Like, what's happening now is, if I'm not mistaken, the embassy in Cape Town received it. They sent it away. They're waiting for it to be sent back. Then my father's got his citizenship, and, or I think it's called citizenship. I'm not sure if there's a different name for it. Then we can get our passports, and we can just be done. It's a process. If any of you have ever done something like this in a country like South Africa, then you know it's a process. But it's a process that's well underway, so that's good. Nox, I know you want to move to Germany. How do you feel about the refugee crisis and starting a new life in such a chaotic time in Europe? Okay, so we live in South Africa. I think I can probably just end it there. We know all about chaotic times here. Trust me. I honestly think that everything is going to be a step up when we move there. We can move to a refugee-infested town, and I'm saying that now as if refugees were a bad thing. I'm pretty sure that they're not a blight on the country. Okay? Pretty sure they're not, but we can move to a place like that, and it'll still be a step up. I'm almost certain of it. I honestly don't even think it'll really affect us. I mean, come on, these people are probably so, I don't know, rich in knowledge and culture, and sure, they've had a tough time, but that would probably just make them stronger characters, that the chances are I would love to meet some of the refugees. Just probably get along with them famously, okay? No, but seriously, I don't think that it's going to affect our move or our stay in there or anything like that greatly. And I think someone actually replied to your comment and said, you know, it's a big country. The chances are most people in the country are not even affected very much by it. I don't know, but I honestly don't think it's going to affect us very much. I am also just going to say it's not really part of the question. I think that a lot of the countries in Europe did really good things. I can't say I'm really proud of them because I'm not, you know, in any position to be proud of them, but I'll just say that it's great. Big ups to them, Germany and the other countries that took refugees in, that actually made life easier for them, that took them in like with open arms, welcomed them into the country. I think that's really great of them. Okay, it's really great of them. Besides, I think most of the European countries probably have so much space that it's not even a problem. Celtic Uchu, Konnichiwa Lumin. 3 questions for you this fortnight. What's the demographic of your channel, i.e. what's the viewers' age range, which countries the majority of viewers come from, etc.? I'll answer that before I move on. So I just know off the top of my head that about 30% of my views come from the US, then about 10% come from the UK, and then it goes down in like 8, 7, 6, 5, and so on, the European countries. Germany's third, if I'm not mistaken. Sweden is after that. Then down, European countries. South Africa is like last, 0.5% or something. No, less, even less, probably 0.2%. Age ranges. Majority of my views are from 18 to 30. 18 to 30. Because the age ranges, they are like 18 to 24 and 24 to 30. And those two are equal for me. So 18 to 24 and 24 to 30 are the same. So it's basically my age range. Okay, so it's a bunch of people that are apparently like-minded. Same age as me, probably the same interests as me. All of you guys. I don't know. I can't say all of you guys because while it is diverse, it's just most of them that are focused in that group. So that's the most robust age range. Around 18 to 30. Or maybe it's 32. I can't remember. I think it's 18 to 30. And then it's about 88% male and 12% female as it stands. Now, I don't really think that these are accurate because most of the views on my channel are on stuff like the 1 minute guides. And I say most, sure there are videos, certain videos and series and stuff that get a lot, but still there are lots of 1 minute guides. They all have a lot of views on them, significant views on them, and that's sort of just a bunch of people that click them, watch them, and maybe never even come back to my channel. I don't know. Okay, because there's a lot more views than there are subscribers and so on and so forth. I don't know how accurate it is, and I don't know how many, like, if there was a way to see the demographic of the people leaving comments, I feel that would be much more useful, because generally the people who leave comments are, I guess, the people that watch your channel. I don't know. It's like the ones that come back constantly, the ones that interact, the ones that are the community, basically. So it's interesting to me, of course. I look at the demographics every now and then, but that's the long and short of it. There's much more, obviously. The system that YouTube has implemented, the analytics system, it's there and it's big. There's a lot to look at. I have not really explored it fully for quite some time, but what I just told you is very recent. I think I looked at it a couple of days ago. Number 2. Would you consider, this is still from Celtic Uchu, and I'm pointing a finger at you because, once again, you left a lot of questions, but always good questions, so I never complain. Would you consider an LP of a city builder management type game, specifically city skylines, or is that not your type of thing? So, like, when I was playing a lot more games when I was younger, I was just playing, like, everything when I suppose the Blizzard games didn't just consume my life. Which, in my opinion, is a good thing. I like Blizzard games consuming all my time because they are games that I really enjoy. But back then, I actually played just a bit of everything. And again, I kind of grew up playing a couple of games like that. Told you guys about Theme Park. We had Transport Tycoon. The other game that I remember just playing a lot of was, I think I played a lot of Constructor as well, which was fun. I played a lot of the original SimCity. Like, those kinds of games, I have played a lot of them in my time, but in recent years, I don't know, I crave a little more action. I guess that's just what it is. Maybe I've just grown into wanting more out of my time, because it feels like things happen kind of slowly in games like that. And that's not actually fair, because you can constantly be busy in a city building game. You can always be improving things and building stuff and zoning things and doing this and doing that and whatever. There's a lot to do. But I guess I just sort of grew away from that genre. I don't know. I can't say that I would be able to commit to an LP of something like that, but I would love to start doing more stuff on the channel. I'm just, again, like I said, the vlog is coming up. I'm just not in a position right now to be able to upload it. I recently recorded a bunch of WildStar, just as a side point here. I'm not able to upload it. Oh man, I've got so much of it. I just want to get it out there so people can watch it, but the videos are large, and because I want to put them up there in decent quality, it just takes so long, and they're big, so it takes so long to get them up. And we were, until just a day or two ago. Again, just like I said, with one line, and it was really difficult to upload. But now I'm hoping things are better, and I'm trying to get things up. And once the videos are flowing again, you know, once I'm able to upload stuff, I want to try and diversify a little bit. I want to try and play some more games. I want to be that knowledgeable guy that's played all the recent releases and stuff like that. I mean, that might cost a lot, but whatever, okay? I want to be able to do stuff like that. I want to be able to jump into a new game. Like, for instance, Star Wars Battlefront's beta. This is a really bad example because it's a beta and it was open to everyone, and, like, it's not... I don't know. Okay, bad example, but I'm giving it as an example anyway. I actually recorded a liveman for it. It's the kind of thing that I would have liked to have done as soon as it came out. I would have liked to have given you guys my impressions on it and then some gameplay and stuff. It would have been nice, and that's something that I want to do in the future. I just need to get everything in order here, and I hope that our internet stays up, and then hopefully, and I am hopeful. Seriously, I am. Number 3. Recently, the Muppets came back to TV. Have you seen any of the Muppet movies or TV shows? If you have enough interest, which Muppet do you like the most? I honestly, and I'm being 100% serious, I don't even know a single one of their names. Is the Cookie Monster a Muppet? Is he a Muppet? Kermit the Frog, is he a Muppet? Those are there, bam, done. I don't know the Muppets. I don't know if this is a generation thing. Did the 80s babies not watch the Muppet? Maybe my parents just didn't like it because they thought they were freaky looking, you know. My children watch this weird stuff. Look, I've heard good things about the Muppet Show. I've not watched it. This is the new one now. I never watched the Muppets growing up or at any point in my life just because, well, it didn't appeal to me. I don't know. So no, I have not watched them, and I wouldn't be able to tell you which one I like. I can't particularly say I like Kermit the Frog or the Cookie Monster, so I'm not going to say that. I'm done. I don't know anything about the Muppets. Max4903. The next Q&A, right, this is the question. Hi Lumin. First of all, I want to say thank you for all the videos, the good stuffs you provide. Keep it up. We love you. Thank you very much. I love you too. I love you too, Max. I have several questions to ask. You. Several. It's fine. These are mostly about Germany, and there seems to be something about Fallout, which is good. I want to talk about Fallout. Why did you choose to move to Germany and not another European country? Sorry if you answered this before. So, as I said, and I'll just elaborate a bit more quickly. My father's German. His entire side of the family is German. I can actually speak and understand German reasonably well. I can understand German 100%. Maybe if they have like this thick accent, if it's like a real German, then it might not be that understandable. I mean, I guess like my father and his family and stuff here, they're all English speaking. They speak an understandable German. Maybe you Germans out there would think it's like, I don't know, a bad German or not the right German or whatever, but it's easy for me to understand, just obviously because I've been hearing it my whole life. So that plays a huge part. Lots of German family, lots of exposure to Germans. It'll make it much easier for us to integrate because we know how these people think. I'm not even joking. Germans, man, they're a unique bunch. A good bunch though, a really good bunch, and they make seriously great cakes and treats. German gingerbread is something. I'm telling you right now, it's something. Trying to think of what it was called. And they have a love for Stollen and Christmas cake like no other. Okay. Now, next question. That's the main part of it. Okay, Germany, otherwise, I guess I could just elaborate even more. Germany, otherwise, just seems like a good country to go to. If we choose a good location, it'll be nice and central enough in Europe that we'll be able to go to where we want without paying too much. And the climate in the areas that we're looking at, quite nice for us, not too wintry. That's pretty important. It'll be nice for Nero and my wife, who doesn't like the winter too much. And I suppose on top of that, I mean, it's just seems like a pleasant place. That's like the most important thing. It seems like the kind of place I wouldn't mind raising a child, and it's again a language that I'm okay with teaching to a child. You know, it's a language that I'm okay with learning. I'm happy to learn. It's just a nice place, you know. And I'm not saying that because, you know, just Germany is the only place we ever want to go. I'd gladly go to most of the other countries in Europe. Nothing against them either. It's just that Germany would be an easier fit for us. What do you think about the current Hearthstone? Oh, will you teach German to Nero? If yes, will you use some strong Bavarian accent? I don't know what a strong Bavarian accent sounds like. I do not know. Will I teach him German? No, I don't think so. He's an English speaker. It's funny because when we grew up, when he was a little puppy, we were still speaking Afrikaans to each other, and then we spoke English to him and Afrikaans to each other, and because of that, he sort of learned to understand the language much better, learned to listen much more keenly when English was being spoken, and I think that was actually really, really, really good for him, and it pushed his IQ like way higher than it should be. He's way too smart, that guy. Way too smart. Okay, and it's like the understanding that he has with English now, it's not there. If someone's speaking Afrikaans, like in the general vicinity, he just ignores it. He just ignores it completely, and I fear if someone speaks English, he'll just ignore it as well. Okay, he knows it's not being directed at him. No need to listen. No need to listen. So now I'm probably not going to teach him German. What do you think about the current Hearthstone meta? For my part, I find it a bit trashy and not really fun to play. It's a good question. Now, honestly, I think the meta has shifted since 2.5 weeks ago, whenever this was posted. It's changed. It's changed a lot. So right now, I don't know if this is something that you guys can agree with, those of you that play Hearthstone, but right now I'm encountering a whole lot of, obviously still a lot of paladins. I think that paladins are even slightly ahead of patron warrior at the moment. I'm encountering a lot of patron warrior, that's for sure. But for me, it's paladin, patron warrior, that's first. Second, handlock is like right there as well, just below patron warrior, and then druid just below that. And then, obviously, in, I would say just a different category would be the face decks, like face hunter. That's just on its own, because there's always face hunter, no matter what's going on. People want to climb the ladder, there's face hunter, but that's what it looks like to me, and I would say, at the moment, it's actually okay. I mean, it has been worse. It's not great. It's not at its best, but it's definitely not at its worst at the moment. And, you know, it sometimes feels bad playing against patron warriors, and it sometimes feels really bad playing against secret paladins. But I still enjoy every single game I play. I mean, fine, like, sometimes I get really salty. It's obviously, like, I hate on them. That mysterious challenger on turn 6 with Boom on 7 and Tyrion on 8. How can you not hate on that? How can you not hate on one turn kill straight from hand, decimating a full board in the process from Patron Warrior? You hate on it. That's life. That's it. It's fine. You've got to get it out. You've got to express your emotions, whether they're good or bad. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't say I hate the meta that much. What I dislike more is that certain classes and decks are just not strong enough to even be viable. Like, you just can't. I mean, I have had some success with Oil Rogue, and I know that there are players out there that play 8 to 10 hours a day that can make these classes work. I mean, you give a professional Hearthstone player literally any deck that's even half viable, they can probably get Legend with it. Eventually. Okay, eventually. And I don't feel that that's, like, an accurate representation of that deck or that class's power. And because, you know, some classes didn't receive very much in the last couple of expansions, they are a little weaker now. I mean, how many shamans do you play against? How many rogues do you play against? I think in the last 100 games that I've played, I have played against one rogue. I'm not even, like, joking here. I'm not blowing things out of proportion. I'm being 100% serious. It was like a really crappy aggro piratey rogue. And I say really crappy because it fell flat on its face. Sure, it could maybe work in every a couple of games. And funny enough, I played against this rogue while I was playing an oil rogue. Just destroyed it. And it feels bad. It does. Just the fact that some classes are so tough to make work right now. Yeah. So that to me is more of a worry than the rampant, crazy, unfun to play against decks. Because fine, they are, and, they're kind of frustrating and all that, but I think that they'll find their place in the meta. And when everything sort of settles a little more, and again, if they nerf Patron just a little bit, bring it down just a little bit, the consistency of it, then I think that everything else will settle and spread. You'll have much more variety just because everyone isn't playing to counter Patron. Like, tournaments and stuff right now are so boring to watch. Oh, God. Man. Oh. If I see another Druid Patron handlock lineup, I will just vomit. Anyway, done. Finally, would you consider doing a Let's Play of Fallout 4? I would strongly consider it. That's all you're getting from me on that right now. Kenneth Anderson. How are you liking Season 4 in Diablo? A lot. A lot. I was supposed to record a video today. Didn't get around to it. Sometimes I just don't get around to things. A lot. I'm on my way towards the last portrait that you can get, frame, whatever, and it's been a lot of fun. I will just say again, I've said this so many times already, the Diablo team have upped their game so much. They are so on point right now. Every time they release a big patch, every time a new season starts, the game is just that much more fun to play, and honestly, if you haven't played it yet, jump in now, give it a try. If you own the game or whatever, you won't be disappointed. Seriously. It's kind of, in some ways, a little boring in the same way that Hearthstone's meta is, where there's a lot of the same classes and stuff. If you want to get up to the high, like, greater Rift levels or Paragon level. Now, Paragon you can just grind with any class, of course. But if you want to do competitive stuff, you've got to play certain things, certain cookie cutter builds or whatever. But it's still super enjoyable. Okay? It's incredibly fun. So yeah, I'm incredibly excited to see if they announce something new for Diablo at BlizzCon. I am keen for the next season already, even though I'm still enjoying this one. Everything about Diablo excites me right now. Kyle Carr. Talking about streaming. Will you stream our Warcraft raids if we're still going come that time? Or would that be something you'd rather avoid? So Kyle Carr is a warrior in our guild. A very, very good DPS warrior. His blade storms are like no other. That's all you need to know about him. I was considering it. I am considering it. But as with everything in the guild, we'll talk about it. If there are too many people saying, oh, well, I wouldn't really be comfortable talking, or, Lumin, you wouldn't be able to concentrate if you're trying to stream and raid at the same time, then fine. Doesn't matter. The guild will come first, the raid and the progress will come first. But it's something that I'm considering, and honestly, with the amount of fun that I have on our raid nights, it would be a crime not to share that. So I think that it would be something that I'd strongly consider, and I'd definitely pitch to the guild and the raid group, and I think that a lot of them would be on board. Having people enjoy the experience. Now, I would maybe, if that was a thing, close chat. Like, I would not distract myself by both interacting with the stream and interacting with the raid. So it would be a bit of a one-way thing, a broadcast, just for that period of time. Then the second the raid ends, I can speak to the stream again, or during break or whatever, or stuff like that. But I don't want to be a liability just because I'm streaming and trying to pay attention to more than one thing at the same. You know what I'm saying, right? But it's something that I would like to do. Yes. Navina Weiss, my new series of questions for you. Will you be coming back to Guild Wars 2 with a new expansion? I think so. I'm hoping that they optimize the damn game soon. The hell's going on there? I guess when Guild Wars 2 was in beta, the optimization was terrible. Maybe they run a bunch of background stuff. Debugging tools, stuff that collects data. It's possible that they do that, and then the performance is just worse. Because I logged in on like literally the last day of one of the beta weekends where only the Revenant was available. I didn't get to play on the other one. I can't remember why, but I didn't get to play during the proper beta weekend. But the performance was so bad, and that that doesn't sit well with me. But I will come back and check it out. For sure. For sure. Did you get any chance to explore? Okay, well, there you go. I answered the next one. Basically asking, did I get to play the beta? I didn't really play the new areas or anything like that, but I did get to see the Revenant, and it looked kind of cool. Chances are I won't play it, though. I've not decided which class I would play if I come back. I was considering Mesmer and Thief, I think. But I'm not certain. I want to look what the new profession things, whatever they were, the subclasses or whatever were that they added. Because I haven't looked. I think Daredevil is the one that they added for Thief, which sounded a little weird. I have to be perfectly honest with you. My favorite race class combination in the game was Asuran Engineer, because that was my original character, and I just thought that the Asura had so much character. They were such a cool race. Like, they could be super scary and intense, but they could also be bubbly and fun. You know, and I thought that that was really cool. They also looked kind of cool as well. I liked the variety that you could get in their visual appearance. After that, I played a Sylvari Thief, which I kind of enjoyed. She looked like a banana. It was really nice. I liked it. I liked it a lot. And then I think at the end, the last character I made was a human Mesmer. And that was also kind of cool. I like the style of play with Mesmer. The light armor and like the really big weapon. But that's it. That's the last question. I think I answered them all correctly. Shadow Tales the Warrior. Hi Lumin, will you make a return to Guild Wars 2? Just answered that. Secondly, you mentioned in the other Q&A that you backed Star Citizen. What ship did you get? And so far, what planet do you see yourself living on when the game goes live? What? Can you actually choose a planet to live on? Dude, you're telling me something now. You see, as I've mentioned before, I don't really follow what's going on too much with Star Citizen. I don't want to really... I don't want to say I don't want to spoil it. That's not the right thing to say here. It's just I don't want to go out of my way to try and find every single little piece of news about every update that they release. I'd rather just every now and then throw myself at it and sort of learn everything there is to learn. And when it comes out, I want to be surprised. I want to be, like, I don't know, shocked and in awe by all the stuff that they've got in there. Most recently, actually, and it's good timing on this, I saw that there was it called Citizen Con or something, where they announced the new alpha that's going to actually be more of a complete game. I'm super excited about that. And they announced the cost of Star Citizen's single player portion, which is ridiculous. Like, Gary Oldman is leading it up with Gillian Anderson, Star Citizen cast. Mark Hamill. Andy Serkis. I'm sure you know who that is. John Rhys Davies. This is crazy. And then a lot more. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. That is a seriously star-studded cast. Right? I'm impressed. I mean, with a budget like that, oh god, they better have some good actors and voice actors in there. You know who they needed in Star Citizen? They really needed Katie Sackhoff. They needed Starbuck in Star Citizen. That would have been a good move. Anyway. Moving on. Oh, ship. I don't know. Just hold on. I've got it here somewhere. Ooh. Ooh. It's unstable. Don't worry. Don't worry. Seriously? Where did I put it? I'll find it. I'll find it eventually. Hold on. It might be in the next drawer. Hold on. Aha. Aha. And it's not even in here. This is then. Oh, there it is. It was worth it. It was worth it, guys. It was worth it. That's the card that I got. It's beautiful. Let me hold it next to my face. It's a white one. It's a mercenary card. And you can tell me which ship I got. Because you seem to know what's going on. I don't know what it means. But I got the white card because I liked the look of the white card and it wasn't too expensive. That is a special thing for me because it's the only... I have to pack all this crap that I've got out here away now. Hold on. It's the only Kickstarter that I've ever backed. I know that makes me sound like really cheap and stuff, but, you know, I am really cheap and stuff. I just don't have that much money. I can't throw it at all the Kickstarters and stuff, but Star Citizen, they promised something really special, and I was impressed by it, and thus far, I'm not disappointed. Sure, it's taken long for them to finish everything they're working on, but my god, you just mentioned planets, and making a home on a planet. Yeah, I'm happy that I backed Star Citizen. Mercenary. Bam. Don't know what the ship is. I would probably be happy with literally anything. So there you go. Planet, a green one. No, actually I want sorry, I'm not getting carried away with this, but it's fun. I want to live in a super futuristic Blade Runner-esque type city. Like a planet that's just covered in a big city. I want to live at the top of one of those skyscrapers with like a neon sign flashing outside my apartment. I live in one of those places. Wow. Now I'm keen. Now I'm keen. Anyway, moving on. Craig Lewis. Hey Lumin, or anyone might know. Do you, by any chance, have a Twitch channel so I can follow you now and be prepared for the glorious future streams? Tales of Lumin. twitchtv.com/talesoflumin. I'm trying to have Tales of Lumin everywhere. I think that that'll just be the easiest way to do it, right? So, for now, it's going to be Tales of Lumin, and I have not done anything with it yet. I've never streamed there before. I can't. I wish I could right now. You can go follow it. Chances are, if you follow it now, then you're going to be notified of all the test streams that I have to do to try and get everything set up, and that should be fun, right? Well, there you go. Tales of Lumin. Justin Brissentine. I think I said that right. Lumin, what's your favorite track from Final Fantasy VIII? I'm listening to Final Fantasy VIII right now. Mine is Delling City. It's my favorite soundtrack to any game I've ever played. It's one of my favorite soundtracks as well, for sure. And my favorite tracks are Balam Garden, or Balam Garden, I don't know how you would pronounce that. And I like Blue Fields. I think the former was playing as I started the video, and the latter was playing 10 minutes in. It was the third song on the playlist. But there are so many good ones. There are so many good... I've got the playlist right here in front of me. Right here in front of me. Delling City. Delling City, where is it? Okay, it's like all the way at the bottom. I don't wanna mess with my playlist now. It's fine. It's a good soundtrack. If you guys haven't heard the Final Fantasy VIII soundtrack, if you haven't played Final Fantasy VIII, play it, listen to the soundtrack. You will not be disappointed. B-Mike channel. Lumin, why did you stop playing World of Warcraft? I'm still playing World of Warcraft. I assume that I had this comment on the video before I released, like you didn't get to see the Archimonde kill. So we've been raiding all along. I just didn't release videos. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to get back to, like I said a couple of videos ago in the Tales of Lumin episode, back to trying to get regular episodes for all the stuff that I like playing up. So you'll know about me playing Warcraft soon enough. Soon enough. Next. Luis Simat? I don't know, I'm trying to be fancy with the name. It's spelled Sis-Mate. Lilu94. I think that's your nickname. It's a tough name. Okay, it's a tough name. It's a nice name, but it's a tough name. Yoo-hoo! Waves. Question time. It's a good way to start a question. You have my attention. I have a few. My bad, if it turns out to be too much. Anyway, about to move to Germany. For you and your beautiful battle wife, hello Eileen, are you going to sell your current house or just rent it out? This house right here is actually my parents' house, and we are just fortunate enough to stay in it. They moved to a farm recently, and they did not want to sell the house yet. I think that they're not going to sell it immediately if we move, because I do think that property values are going to go up in this area. For various reasons. Not going to get into that because that's just boring. So the house will probably stay here, and they might do something with it. Maybe they'll rent it out. I don't know what they're going to do. That's their thing. We are just fortunate enough, like I said, to be living here. Have you looked at places to move to? If you have, are there any that have piqued your interests? Lots, many, multiple. We have looked at many areas. We like the warmer regions of Germany. We've looked at a couple of houses. We have a couple of sort of family members that are also being considered. We've looked around. We have definitely looked around, and a lot of it has excited us. There are a lot of cool looking areas and houses and stuff, and it just looks like, I don't know, property there is just quite a lot cheaper than property here. People don't like owning in Germany. People seem to like to rent. That's the thing. So, I don't know. Yeah, we've looked at a lot of stuff. We are interested in a lot of different places, of course, but we're gonna, a little closer to the time, see what happens. The chances are we'd want to rent when we move there, so that we can just first have a look around to be sure we, you know, are certain. Sure we are certain. Something like that. 3. Will you be learning German, or do you already know some? I do already know some. I will be learning it as I integrate myself into society. I think I'll just learn by living. Me specifically. I think Helene has already been fiddling around with Duolingo, which is really cool. That app is amazing. I don't think I really need to do much learning though, because I think I got a solid enough understanding of the language as it is. Have you ever been to Germany before? No, I've not. Which is disgraceful, right? Let me think. Been to a couple of other countries, but not Germany. How can I have been to France multiple times and Germany not once? It's bad. That's real bad. Is there anything you're looking forward to seeing, doing, and eating? Enjoy everything. I'm looking forward to everything. And apparently, according to my battle wife, we're going to be looking around a lot. We're going to be spending some time, maybe on weekends or whatever, actually going places together. Not like here, where we just hermited up in our house. Although we've actually, you know, in our defense, seen everything there is to see around here, of course, because we've been living here for so long. But we're going to make an effort when we get there. Just general stuff. Next, I would certainly like to see another Cooking with Lumin guide. I'm really interested in the cuisine of other countries, and your pumpkin pie was delicious. I have one lined up and ready. I will do it soon. I think I'll do it soon. I think it's probably going to be a Tales of Lumin episode, though. I'll just do a cooking vlog. Like, it's going to be part of that. And everything just goes in there. It's easier just squishing everything in there. It's not going to be its own series. So every time I want to cook something, I'll just put it in there. Or bake something. Whatever, make something, you know. So if you ever be so kind, wink, 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 nudge, nudge, nudge. Would love to send Nero some yummy kangaroo treats, but apparently I'm not allowed to send meat treats. Anyway is actually written here. I didn't say anyway. She said anyway. I would like to know a bit more about Nero. Ha! Literally my favorite topic in the entire world. How old is he? He's 5 years and 8 months. That's how old he is. He's a middle-aged man. He's looking good for his age, though. Is he your son, or did you and Eileen adopt him together? We adopted him together. He's our son. In brackets. He knows he's adopted, right? No, what are you talking about? He's legit our son. He does not know anything of the sort. He is the closest thing to human that a puppy can be, and we love that about him. Okay? He is very much a human puppy. He's always involved in everything we do, and when it comes to choosing between his daddy and some other random dog, he will choose his daddy any day of the week. Okay? What's a normal day like for him? So, alright, okay, let me just read the rest of it. I know he likes to go on walks. He goes on 2 walks, but what else does he do? If he's anything like my dog, then he'd probably sleep all day and eat all night. Man. So, a normal day. A little stressful, I'll be honest. Very, very, very strict routine. Incredibly strict. If everything does not happen in a specific order, Nero is not happy. That's okay. He keeps me in check, keeps us in check, keeps us honest and moving forward. So, very, 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 very specific routine. I can recite it easily for you. Wow, okay, when did it start? Do I start with the AM first, or does it end on the AM? That's the question. So, usually I feed him in the morning between, in summer I suppose between 5:30 and 7:30. It depends. He wakes up and then he's either on our bed with us or he's in his bed at the foot of our bed, and then he wakes up and gently lets me know that he's awake by just lifting himself up, like lifting his head up a little bit and then like looking around and licking a little bit, like, you know, he just licks, he just licks and he looks. And he looks around a little bit and he looks at me and then he like sighs. Then he makes some sounds, you know, he makes sounds and stuff. And he does this and he gently wakes me up like that. I don't know if it's on purpose. I think it is. Like, he's basically like, oh, Daddy, no, Daddy, I'm awake, Daddy, I'd like to eat now, Daddy. But Daddy, I don't want to wake you up, Daddy, I'm trying to do this politely. So he wakes me up super gently. And if that takes too long, then he actually gets out of bed. It's like, if I don't react, he always knows when I'm awake, though. He always knows. I don't have to really, like, move. I can open my eyes and he will know. He will know. Because then everything just accelerates. So, if I do not wake up, then he comes around to my side of the bed and he pokes me and he licks me and, you know, he just says, hey, Daddy. Hey, I'm here. I'm here, Daddy. I'm here now. Don't worry. You can feed me now. So then what happens is we walk out to the kitchen and we go to the sliding door out there together. I open it for him and then he sits down and he looks. Sometimes he does it differently and he wants to go out and bark immediately. That's usually when he needs to go for a pee. I know how it works, okay? Then he runs. Then he runs. He hoofs it to the door. I open it, he runs out, and he goes and does his thing there while I prepare the food. But usually he goes and he sits at the door while it's open, just with a fresh morning breeze blowing on his face, and he just sits there, and he's like half asleep. He's like sitting there with his eyes like half closed, and he's like thinking about his nice food that's being made. Then I go and wash his bowl, okay? I wash his bowl every morning before I clean it, you know? And usually while I'm doing that, he comes back in. So I wash his bowl, I put the brush away or whatever, I take it to where the kettle is, put the kettle on, then I take his little scoop and get him some food. Okay, and then he comes with me and then I poop him on the nose. I go poop with a little cup, because he likes it. He actually, now what I do is I just hold the little cup for him and then he poops his nose against the cup. It's very cute. Then I get his pellets for him, I make his food nicely, some hot water, a little bit of milk. We've got some oil that's very good for his skin. I think it's called Dermo Focus or something that I put in there. And we do this all at any time between 5:30 and 7:30. And then once it's done, I go back to bed. He comes with. Sometimes he goes out first, he comes with, he gets on the bed with us, he naps. It's very important. The post-breakfast nap is really important for both of us. We do it together. And then generally, my wife wakes up a little before me. I get up a little after that, along with Nero. And then when we wake up, when we wake up for reals, he goes out the front door and he goes and just looks around, you know, sees what's going on. And then he waits. He waits for his first walk. Okay, so we are sort of then eating breakfast and just getting ready. Like, I sit down here and I do a few things. And then he either waits here on the chair or he waits, like, in the lounge, or if it's really good weather, he waits outside. He just waits a little bit. If it takes too long, he comes and he reminds us gently. Then we go for our walk. This first one in the morning is a little bit longer, and it's like all the way down the neighborhood, round on the cliff paths and stuff. It's a long walk, a longish walk, and it's very important for him. He has to sniff everything, and this needs to happen. Okay, if this doesn't happen, he's not happy. He needs to sniff everywhere. He needs to run a little bit. He actually does his toilet business. His number twos out there. He's done that. He does it now. On his walk, he never really wants to make his poo at home. He goes out. He goes out for that. He's got specific spots as well. Okay, so little like fields and stuff here and there in the neighborhood that he likes doing his business on. But it's an important time for him, the walk. So we actually get to, fortunate enough, because of the nice neighborhood we live in the nice, I guess, little town we live in, he gets to go off the leash for a long portion of the walk, most of the way. Then he gets to run a little bit. I run with him. So we get down to a big field and like open area down the road there. There's like some fynbos and lots of grass and stuff. We run together there. I run with him, and then I do a little thing where I hide. I run with him, and then I run. And he runs down the little pathway, and then I hide behind a bush quickly. And then then I can hear it. He stops. He looks. He looks. Where's Daddy? And then he knows, because it's a game. And then he knows. Then he like, bam! He sprints like as fast as he can down the little pathway looking for me. And then the second he finds me, he's like, "Ha, Daddy!" And then he like runs back to Eileen, like just runs back to the other side, and we do that over and over again. He loves it. It's so much fun. I love it too. Like, I love how excited and surprised he looks when he finds me every time. Because like literally every time he's surprised to find and happy to find me. Happy. And we do that, then we go on the cliff path and we come back, and he, like I say, along the way somewhere he does his business. Then when we come back from the walk, then it's his relaxing time. Then his day actually starts. Then he does his own thing for the most part. Like he likes to tan outside. We put a pillow outside for him every day if there's sun. He tans outside in the sun. He goes up the balcony to like look out over the neighborhood, his kingdom. Okay, sometimes he lies at the front. Sometimes he sits on the chair here, in his bed there, in his bed over there, on this chair over here. He lazes around, and like around lunchtime, he usually gets a little treat or something, usually. And he sort of, closer to the later parts of the afternoon, he starts prepping, you know. He starts getting hyped up for his second walk. Okay, because this is a long day, of course, but obviously when it comes time for the second walk, he's ready, you know. He is ready. So he starts getting himself hyped up. And he starts reminding us. He comes in here every now and then. Tick, 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 tick. He comes in, like, stands right next to me, looks at me, looks at me, looks at me, licks a little bit. He sits here, and then he gets on his chair, and then he stares at me. You guys have seen that look that he does. He just like looks. He just intensely stares at me. It's the best. Seriously, it's the best. And he's just reminding us, gently reminding us that there's a second walk that needs to happen. So, it happens. You know, it happens. It happens. And I'm obviously missing smaller details. Yeah, I could go into much more detail, of course. Much more detail, but you don't need to know that. Second walk is much shorter. Well, not much. It's a bit shorter. It's a different route that we take. It's not always the same, of course. It's not always the same. Like, for instance, if she doesn't go with, then it's random. Like, then he just decides, this is the way I want to go. And then he pulls me, says, let's go, Daddy. And then we go. Okay, and I sometimes don't even know where we're going, but we go. When it's with Helene, then we generally go the same way. And it's shorter. He usually also does his toilet business, his other toilet business on the walk. And once we get back from that, then depending on the time, because the walk, you know, it varies. Depending on the time, it's sort of food time soon after that. And then that's also a big deal. Same system with the food. Like I wash the bowl again. He usually waits at the door again. Sits out there looking out the door, making sure everything's okay, so it's safe to eat. He has his food. He enjoys his food. And then once that's done, we play with his rope. Okay, so the second the food is done, what happens is I hear like he drops the rope there in the kitchen, because there's a curtain here, so I can't see into the kitchen always. But you know, if it's open, then of course I can immediately see him. If it's not, I hear him dropping his rope there, and he stands and he stares. And Nero has this thing where, even if there's like a wall or door or a curtain in this case between you and him, he will stare at you through whatever it is, and you will know he's staring at you. You will know. I always know when he's staring at me through that curtain. So he sits there and he stares at me until I come and we play with his rope a little bit. So we run around the garden. In most cases, like especially when it's winter and stuff, the playing consists of me chasing him out the door, and then he jumps down the steps out the door, turns right back around, goes back in, is okay, Daddy, we're done. Game over. Give me my biscuit, and then I give him a little bicky. Okay? And he's on a strict diet. Okay, so I know exactly how much I'm giving him. I'm not fattening him up or whatever. So if he gets X amount of cookies, he actually gets X amount of pellets less, and so on and so forth. So we do that, we play with that, and then it's chew time for him. Then he comes and sits on his pillow over here, and he chews a hoof or a bone or whatever he's got at the time. So directly after playing, it's chew time. Sometimes in summer, a little bit after he's eaten and we've played and stuff, he runs around the garden a little bit, like really fast, really fast. I go out there with him and he does it for me, shows off for me, jumps around the sand, digs a little bit, runs and runs and runs. But then, like I said, chew time, he chews here, not a lot, just prepares for a nap, and then it's serious nap time for a little bit, and then he waits for us to have our dinner, okay, and then he comes and sits with us in the kitchen for our dinner, and after that, again, it's just serious nap time. Serious nap in one of the beds. Right now, he's not here. I can see he's not in the office, which means he's on the couch in the lounge or on our bed in our bedroom. It's one of the two. Okay, and he's also sometimes really serious about his sleeping. Like, he wants to have a good nap, so he goes and he has the nap on a nice, comfortable bed. It's okay. He knows that I know exactly where he is, so I can come find him anytime. And then during the naps and stuff, I go sometimes, I'll give him a little neck rub, a face rub, a little kissy. He loves it. He loves it. So yeah, that's pretty much it then. When it comes to like 11 to 11:30-ish here, PM, later, okay, he will march in here slowly, looking kind of unimpressed, saying like, Daddy, Mommy, listen here, it's late. We should get to bed. And then he comes and sits and he looks at me again. Sometimes he has a good nap. You know, sometimes he has a really good nap. Again, after that. But usually he comes and he reminds us that it's time to go to bed. And then we know. We don't need to have a watch anywhere nearby. We know what time it is when he comes in here and he reminds us. And then after that, when we go to bed, usually we go brush our teeth and stuff. He gets on our bed. First he gets on Helene's side and he sits there and he waits. Then I usually go and brush his teeth. Okay? Every day. I brush his teeth. Well, some days I brush it. Some days I put this gel stuff in. But most days he has something done to his mouth. And he's happy with it. Well, sometimes he's not happy with it. Sometimes he's really unimpressed. But he has it done. Do that, whatever. Then Helene gets in the bed first, usually. Then he moves over to my side. And then I get in and then he moves to the middle between us. Or down to his own bed. And then it's sleep time. That's it. I know, again, I've missed some things, and I went into, like, crazy detail here. A lot of you guys are probably so bored out of your minds now, but that's the day in the life of Nero. In your last Q&A, you were worried about handsome little Nero Noodle and his long trip in the plane. When I moved and I brought my little puppy on the plane, the vet recommended that we get a cage and put her in it at night and drive around with it in the boot to simulate an airplane ride. That's genius. And that is actually the exact thing that sort of the same thing that our vet suggested. The vet said that we must get a cage and a crate or whatever and put it in our house and just get him used to it. Put a pillow in there, let him sleep in it, whatever. The issue that we have is that we can't find a cage. I don't know, I'm going to go out of my way soon to do something like that because that's really clever. Okay, that's really clever, and it's something that I'd like to do because he is, again, a pretty stressed out and stress-prone guy, so I'd like to make it as smooth a ride as possible, you know? So I'll do something like that soon. I will. Don't know if it'll help much, but I'm sure Nero will be fine. Thank you. I hope so too. I mean, I'm sure about it too. That's it for now. Anyways, sincerely, I hope your internet gets fixed and the rest of your year goes by in a splendid and adventurous fashion. Regardless of how long it takes for the internet gods to pop by and magically fix everything, we'll still be here, or at least I will, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, eager to, for the next Lumin fix. Hope you, Helene and Nero, are grand and adventuring safely. Much love, and sending all the positive vibes your way. P.S. I'm hanging out for the day you start to stream. So keen. Keen as a bean. That's great. I'm super keen as well. Mr. Stocktown 209. What do you think about XCOM 2? Will you play it? Keep up the great work. It looks good. I saw that they changed a lot of stuff pretty dramatically, actually, and I am not 100% on it yet. Like, I don't know exactly what's going on there yet, but it looked pretty good. Will I play it? I don't know. I don't know if I wanna throw myself at another XCOM game. I made the mistake of playing on like a super high difficulty last time, and I think that was really the mistake that I made. I shouldn't have gone in with Iron Man mode and the most difficult setting or whatever. Impossible Iron Man. What did I play on? I can't even remember. But I remember I was playing on Iron Man mode, and it was difficult, and it was like, it was a downhill ride right from the very start. So if I do play another one and I do record anything with it, then it'll probably be on a slightly easier difficulty, just so that I can actually, see more of the game. Anyway. Tali Zoran Araya. Okay, new question. What did you want to do for a living when you were young? I wanted to be a dancer, but I ended up being a chef. Also, if you could go back in time and change one thing, what would it be? For me, it would be not breaking my leg in a fall, which was the reason I had to give up. Oh, that's... Oh. Well, that's bad. That's really sad. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure someone like you has made the best of being a chef, and you're probably an amazing chef. One day, I will come and eat in your restaurant. Better make me something nice. Okay? Better make me something nice. What did I want to be when I grew up? When I was young? No, I don't know. I don't think I really... I don't know why, but I never ended up being one of those children that had big aspirations or dreams of being something. I would have loved that. Honestly, I would have loved to have wanted to, with all my heart, be something when I was younger, like an astronaut or a firefighter. No, I don't want to be a firefighter. You know what I'm saying, though, right? Would have been nice having that kind of purpose, but I think because of the way we were raised, we pretty much just had everything available to us in terms of like, I mean, freedom. My parents didn't raise us in a way that funneled us into one thing. That's actually what I'm trying to say. And I'm grateful for it because both myself and my sister, we found our own way, and we are both doing things that we love and enjoy right now. My sister, by the way, for those that don't know, is a mother of 2 and a teacher. So, I don't know. I can't think of anything that I thought back then I wanted to be when I grew up. If I could change anything? No. Not really. I don't know, not off the top of my head. Like, I'd really have to dive deep to try and think of something, you know? Yeah. What happened, happened, and I'm happy with it. That's what I'll say. 8TOA. 8TOA. Hey, Lumin. This may be a difficult question to answer, but how do you think you'll be when streaming? Will you be as talkative and upbeat, etc.? I only ask this because some YouTubers are entirely different when streaming. It's really strange. It is quite strange, right? I don't know. I mean, I think, and yes, it's a difficult question to answer, but I think it'll be mostly the same experience. I might have to talk a little bit less so that I can actually have a voice by the end of it, but I don't know. I've been trying over the past couple of months to get everything on the level. Like, more me in my videos. Not to overdo things. And I've been sort of getting there. Not 100% yet, as in I'm not super incredibly happy with how perfect everything is going with my commentary and stuff. But and like, again, there's still room for improvement, but I think that as it stands right now, if you had to watch me stream something, it would not be a very different experience. It might be a bit different. In a good way. Because I'd actually have, like, chat, and I'd be able to interact with you guys live, which to me is just so exciting. Just the idea of that. It's like something from the future. Sad, right? It's very sad. That it's just something that we can't do here. Man, why is that even a thing? You know, why is that even a thing? So yeah, it's a tough question to answer, but in all honesty, I do think that I was meant to be doing the whole streaming thing, and it's a perfect fit for everything that I do and the way I do things. So I think it's going to be great. I really do. Alyssa Lawson, have you played Rocket League? I have it on the PS4 and it's great. It's got cross-play with the PC. You should try it if you haven't already. It's one of those one more game games. This is the last question. I've not played Rocket League. I've seen quite a bit of it, all the trick shots and stuff that have been posted on Reddit, and it looks great. It does, but it's not really my kind of thing. I am not a huge fan of racing games, and I'm even less of a fan of sports games. I realize that the combination between the two created something entirely new, but it's still not really my kind of thing. It looks great though. It really does. So there you go. I'm done. And that was exhausting. You guys left way too many questions. Oh, scrolling for days. Thank you though. Thank you for all of them. If you have any new questions, you can leave them below. Regarding anything. Go ahead. If you want me to go into more detail about Nero's day, that's probably not going to happen. Probably not, but you can just ask anyway, so I can shoot you down. I'd gladly do that. Oh, I'd love to do that, actually. Anyway. Check back here in 2 weeks for the next one. I'm hopefully going to get it up in a timely fashion. I think that our internet's going to be okay. I think that we're going to be in a good place soon enough. And I'll be uploading things on the regular soon enough. So, look forward to that. And again, leave those questions. Thank you to everyone that left the amazing ones for this week. I enjoyed them thoroughly. I really did. Some good ones here. Again, check back soon for more. Give it a like, share it, and do all your stuff. Most importantly, though. Happy Fortnightly Q&A. And happy Nero Noodle. I'm actually going to get up right now. And go and look for him. Give him a rub. And like a kissy on the snoot. Like 5 kisses on the snoot, actually. I never give just one. One is never really enough. And do you agree? I think so. Happy that.